Welcome back to the channel. It's the first video of 2022. Let's clap that shit up. Give it a little snaps, bro. We made it to 2022. And I took me a little break on Christmas, spent time with my family. So I hope you guys had a good Christmas, and I hope you guys have a good New Year's. This video should be dropping on the 1st. So yeah, Happy New Year. So before I start this video, just know this isn't just like a all cops are bad kind of thing, or just I hate the police, because that's just not fair. And I know, like, if once I tell the story, you just come back to this part, it's like, what do you mean it's not fair? It's just like, if I just say all cops are bad, that wouldn't be fair. So I know some really good cops in Gardendale, like really cool people to talk to. If I see them, I'll say hey. Like, it's not really that big of a deal. Like, some of them are really cool to interact with. But then again, with cops, there's always these few cops who just go out on the job because they have a gun and a badge, and honestly they can do whatever they want. Like, these are like the cops that were like 4'11" in junior year of high school, balding in their 20s, was getting bullied on the daily, getting bitched by their parents, just overall just a bitch. And I ran into one of those cops on Christmas Day. Yeah, it was on Christmas Day, and it was a very frightening experience. Like, it was one of those like wake up calls, like, this is my, you know, like how there's like welcome to the NBA moments. Well, this was my welcome, like, black man in America moment, because this was my first time ever experiencing something like this. So on Christmas Day, my mom is going down to Kimberly just to hang out with some family, and I'm doing something still, not till I'm gonna be over there. I'll see you like in an hour. So I had to get showered, I had to get dressed, I had some other shit I gotta get done. So I said, I'll see you in an hour, I'll be over there. So I get ready, I go down to Kimberly, and there's a friend I used to work with who went to Dollar General, and I spent some time with her, told her Merry Christmas, and I went down on my way to Kimberly off Highway 31. And Kimberly sits like less than 3 minutes away from Morris, and in that in-between area, like, both of those countries are kind of not country, both of those areas are kind of country, like borderlining redneckish. And yeah, that's just for the context of the video. So I keep on going down this highway, then there's this this truck. He just slows down in front of me, and I was like, what is he doing? Like, what the hell? I didn't say anything. Like, I wasn't having no road rage or anything. I was just like, okay. And I was just confused, and I didn't get over it. I was just like staring at the back of the car, and he slows down in front of me, and then he turns on his turning signal. He goes to this parking lot, and he just lets me over. I'm like, cool, it is what it is. I really don't care. And then when I, like, you know, get in front of him, police lights. I was like, what the hell? Because this looks like a regular truck, and it didn't hit me until like afterwards. But that was like a K9 unit car. I saw K9 decal on the back windows, and I was like, oh, that was like a K9 car. I thought it was just like a cool little decal on it, because it just said K9. So he pulls me over, and I'm just like, oh shit. I turn on my lights. I put my hand on my steering wheel. And as soon as I rolled my window down, it's automatic, so they just rolled down. And as soon as I rolled down my window, bro, there's a gun in my face. And he's like, what are you doing with your hands, bro? Put your hands down. Like, do you want to die on Christmas? I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? He was like, what are you doing riding my ass like that? And I'm like confused, because he slowed down in front of me. Like, he came at my car with a gun in my face, bro, and I didn't know what to do. Like, this nigga had no trigger discipline. His finger was on the trigger, bro. And I was like, this nigga's about to fuck me up. Like, this nigga's about to fuck me up. And I'm like, yo, bro, you were driving slow in front of me. I couldn't get around you. This, that, and the third. And then he just kept that gun on me, man. And, like, I didn't know how to feel about that. Like, I was scared. Because, like, literally, I was driving just down to my family's house for Christmas. And then that brings in another thing, bro. Like, it's a lot of niggas who will be like, this won't ever happen to me. All you have to do is, you know, keep your hands on the steering wheel. Yes, sir. No, sir. And you'll be out of there. And I used to think that, too. Like, you know, you just do what the officer says. If he lets you plead your case, he'll let you plead it. If he won't, he won't. And you just be on about your day. But that's just not my reality, being black. That's really, that doesn't work for me, especially in areas like this. And that was a really harsh wake-up call when I was like, hey man, you slowed down in front of me, like you were braking in front of me. And he was like, you were riding my ass all the way off Highway 31. And that was a lie, because I came back from the back roads behind Jack's. And if you know where that is, you just know where that is, because the back road takes you behind the Jack's and it takes you on like the highway. And I wasn't even following him the whole time, and he was just like, give me your license, like yelling at me, bro. And I gave him my license, and I just sat there, bro, and I was just, my hand was locked on the steering wheel. I was like, hey bro, I'm about to call my mom up here, like I don't know what the fuck you're on. I didn't say that though. I was just trying to be respectful. I was like, I don't know what you're on, man. I'm just gonna call my mom. He's like, do whatever the hell you want, I don't care. And I called my mom, and I'm just like in a panic, bro. Like I usually don't cuss at my mom, bro, but like she couldn't hear me, and I was just scared, man. I was like, just hurry the fuck on down here, man. This cop pulled a gun on me, and I'm scared. And I just remember crying, bro, because I was just like, I could low-key be another statistic with how this man is acting. And I'm just yelling and cussing, bro, so I'm just scared. Like I feel like a kid, like a little ass kid. And my mom's like, okay, we're coming, because they were right down Kimberly, and that was like another, like not even 5-minute drive to get to their house. And they keep me on the phone, and I'm just like pleading with them, like, come on, man, like I'm scared, like crying, bro, because like it was scary as hell. Like it's just one of those things I hope no one has to experience, but if you do, bro, if you have, it's scary. And they come on down. I have like one of my two father figures that come on down. I have my mom come down, one of my aunts come down, and one of their wives comes down as well. And they pull up like behind the cop, not behind the cop. They pull up a little ways away, and they're like, hey, we're just here because this is our nephew. He's young and he's scared. He doesn't know what's going on. And then he's like, get the fuck away from my crime scene before I put all of y'all in jail. Do you want to go into jail on Christmas? Just like being a whole dick. And he's like, my uncle's like, we could just be there just asking for help. So they just pull in front of me, and they're just like, I thought they were leaving, bro. Not panic. I just cried. I was like, please don't leave me here, bro. And they didn't. They just pulled in front of me, and they just talked to me. And he came back like 5 minutes later with another officer, because another officer pulled up behind him. It was a completely different person. And I was like, cool, because they called the cops to have someone come up here, like monitor the scene or something, or just make sure nothing goes down. So another cop comes to me, he gives me a ticket. He says, so you're gonna have a ticket for reckless driving. And reckless driving is a pretty big like misdemeanor. It's like one of the biggest misdemeanors you can have, like driving wise. And I was like, yo, I didn't do anything. And I tried to plead my case to the officer, and I was like, hey, he slowed down in front of me. He slowed down in front of me, then he just got in, like he let me get in front of him, then he pulled me over. He pulled a gun out on me and everything, and he didn't even care. He didn't listen to me plead my case or anything. Like I was just looking like, hey, like I need some help. Like I didn't do anything wrong from what I said. I didn't do anything wrong, I think. And he was like, oh, don't worry, this man has been doing this longer than you have been alive, so like he knows what he's talking about. And then that cop, bro, that's just something that will stick with me for the rest of my life. He looked at me and he smiled. He was like, have a Merry Christmas. And then he just went back to his car, bro. And that made me so mad. Like I remember I was like, can I go, officer? They're like, yeah, you can go. I leave and I park in a church, bro. I just start screaming because I was so angry that I couldn't do anything in that situation. Like as a man, like I really felt small in that situation. Like I felt like my life was threatened. I felt like I would have been on, I felt like I was going to be another statistic for about half a second, because that man came up to me with a whole gun pointed at my head, finger on the trigger, bro. And anything could have happened, bro. That nigga's finger could have slipped. I could have been dead. This nigga could have had an even worse day. This nigga could have just hated niggas. And he could have saw me like go for my phone, even though I said, hey, I'm going to go for my phone and call my mom. He could have shot me for that. So like, it was scary, like how small I felt in this situation, and the fact that he felt like it was cool to taunt me. So I remember just pulling over and just screaming in my car, bro, like just crying. And my family pulled up behind me, and then they came out, and I just hugged them all, man. I was scared. Like, I'm 20, bro. Like, I'm 20. I'm closer to 19 than I am to 21. So I'm still a kid, bro. It's like 2 years ago, I was asking a teacher to go to the bathroom. Like, I'm still a kid. I was scared as shit. And that's pretty much the story. They took me back to their place. I sat there for a second. I hugged my mom. I cried in her arms, bro. Like, I don't got this. I mean, you really can't hold me for it. Like, I just sat there and cried in my mom's arms. And they just told me, they just gave me a talk about just like how it is to be a nigga in America. They've given me this talk before, but to experience it, man, it's crazy. It's a really crazy experience. To me, they told me things like be happy, like that was the good outcome of a traffic stop for like people like us in this area. Like, that was a good outcome. Like, just be happy you survived. And I understand what they were coming from with that, be happy you survived. But I don't agree with that. I just can't be happy to know that, oh, a cop pulled me over. I'm happy I survived the encounter. Because these are the people that are out here to protect and serve us. These are the people that are out here with someone. If there's a problem, I have to call them. And the fact that I have to be happy I survived a traffic stop for something that I don't even think I did, because he said I was reckless driving for like driving on his bumper. I was about a car and a half length away, and then he just braked in front of me. It was just so much that I didn't agree with, but I know as a nigga there's not much I can do about it. Like, I can get upset, I can file a complaint, probably nothing will happen, because what are they gonna do? They just gonna ask the officer what happened. He'll tell his side of the story, and then he'll be great. I didn't even see a body cam on his shit, so it's just like, there's a few things they told me, and I hated the fact that I had to agree with it because of the color of my skin. Like, there's things that I can't do with officers that just, let's say, one of my white friends can do, and I hate throwing out that argument, but it's true. There's a lot of things that white people can do when it comes to getting stopped at traffic stops that they can do. They can get away with it. I can't, because white people don't have to worry about surviving a traffic stop. They can just say yes sir, no sir, hands on the steering wheel, and they're out in like 20 minutes, not 20 minutes, but like 20, 30 seconds, less than that maybe. But for a nigga like me, I'm pretty big. I'm like 6'2", 6'3", 255 pounds, dreads. Like, I'm a big nigga. They're gonna come to the car with their guns on their hands, so they see me as a threat. Not only because I'm black, but I'm a big black man. Like, they see me as a threat. They don't see me as like, oh, this nigga just graduated high school. Like, they see me as just a grown man that can be a threat. And that shit sucks. I hate it. Like, there's really not much else I can say. The fact that I have to survive a traffic stop. The fact that I can't drive on these back roads. The fact that some of my white friends can get away with some shit that I can't because of the color of my skin. Like, the fact that a cop can have a bad day and do what he wants to me. And that's not even just me being a black man. It's just the fact that cops can have a bad day, and the cops can have a bad day and they can just take it out on you. They can give you a ticket. They can put points on your license. They can make your insurance go up. They can put you in jail. They can give you a record just because they're having a bad day. And it really shouldn't work like that. Like, being a black man in America is not always fun. I always make the jokes, like, with my niggas, they're like, oh man, we niggas, man, we got it easy, bro. Like, we got it the easiest out here. You can't cancel a nigga, man. That's impossible. Like, we just gonna call you racist. But in the real world, that shit really don't fly at all. It's fun to say, but it's not really how things go. But overall, here's my point, my takeaway from this situation. I'm not upset at the police. I'm upset at that individual. Not all cops are bad. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I've met great cops in my city. If I see that cop, if I see a few of them, shit, I'll go say hey, I'll say what's up. I'm not scared of the police. I'm not scared that they're gonna gun me down. But I am scared of these niggas who were bullied in high school and they become a police officer just to have a little bit of authority in their lives. But the thing about that particular cop, Michael Jenkins, is that to me, I feel like he had a really bad life growing up. He had a shitty time in high school, maybe not had the best parents. He's already balding, bro. He's already missing the top of his head. But to me, he took out some anger on me. I can tell he did. I forgive him for that. I have no ill will for him. I forgive that man. I'm supposed to. I'm a follower of Christ, bro. I forgive that man. But that doesn't stop me from thinking that when he goes home, he takes off that badge, he takes off that gun, he puts that shit on the counter, and he's the same little bitch he was in high school. Like, without that badge, without that power, he goes home, he's lonely, and he's that same small nigga he was from high school. All cops ain't bad, but the bad ones really give the good ones a really bad rep. Because I remember saying, like, to my uncles, man, I'd kill that nigga if I could. If I see that nigga, I'll kill him. I was mad enough to wish another man dead, and I don't ever want to be like that again. So I forgive that man just so I can just clear my conscience of just being, he just doesn't deserve my anger. But like I said, bro, these bad cops really ruin it for everybody. And they really ruin it for niggas the most. Cause you kill a nigga, bro, you get a little riot, get a little protest, nothing changes. And then that's just my opinion. But it's hard being a nigga in America. It really is. From like the outside looking in, it's easy. We got all these Black Lives Matter protests. We got all these programs. We got people literally pandering to us to like vote them into office for like reforms and shit. You have all this shit that looks like the minorities have it good. The niggas got it good. But we're still dying at traffic stops, bro. We're still having to be worried when it comes to traffic stops. Traffic violations. Even ones we don't commit. We have to be happy that we survived a traffic violation, man. And that's scary. But it's reality. I wish I could change it. I'd change it if I could. But that's just my reality. But I know that's not the best video to start off on 2021, but I feel like I had to get that off my chest. Like, it's real out here, man. It's really real out here when these cops are shitty. Like I said in the beginning, bro, all these cops ain't bad, but the ones who are really bad make them all look bad. But y'all niggas stay safe out here, bro. Like, for real. It's an evil world we live in. Not even trying to quote future, but it's an evil world we live in. But like I always tell y'all niggas take it easy, but not too easy, because that's when life gets hard. Stay blessed and stay safe. Have a happy new year, and I'll see y'all niggas later. Peace.